Good morning, everybody. It is June 9th here at MarketStream.live, and my name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group Securities Offer My Money Block. Let's talk about what's going on with all the action here in the U.S. now that we have the Comey testimony. It's done, not completely, but it's at least started, and the markets have absorbed that. The UK elections, they're done, and that was a surprise. Looks like the Conservative Party actually lost seats in Parliament. That means the Brexit negotiations that are starting in 10 days. Volatility, folks, potentially in the UK. You're also seeing that the ECB, they said, well, things are good, but we do not see the inflation track even going out as far as 2019. That has been basically leaving them on the continued course of their monetary policy, which means that they're going to still infuse capital in, but they've noted that they may taper as soon as July and August the amount that they're putting into the system, much like what we did. We tapered instead of just cutting or even raising rates. They're going to taper some of that 60 to 80 billion euro that they put into the system. So that, again, is a sign that maybe not only growth in the ECB, but also we're seeing global growth. But because there's other things that we're seeing on the forefront. In China this week, we saw that the imports were greater than the exports, but still we saw growth. So that's internal growth and external growth. We're seeing the same thing. We saw it in the UK. Despite of the fact that they had mixed elections now and the Conservatives have lost some seats, which was not their intention when Theresa May wanted to do the snap elections. But you saw that in the UK, as well as in Germany, you're starting to see that imports are starting to increase versus exports. That means that their general economies are moving to the upside. We're also seeing the same thing here in the States. What's also interesting is that global currencies are pulling back, which means that there's dollar strength. U.S. markets right now, you have the Dow Jones up 65. You have the S&P 500 right now up 8. And you have the NASDAQ up 6.9. And the NASDAQ is coming off of its worst levels of this session so far. We're going to watch that one very closely because this has been the index that has basically put this whole market on its back in really 5 names. 5 names in this index, NASDAQ 100 alone, which make up about 45% of the index. That should give you some context. A little bit scary in my mind, but have been taking this market on their back and moving it to the upside. What has been the most impressive mover is the Russell 2000. This is the domestically centric small business index. This is the one that gives us a pulse of how the U.S. economy is doing. It has bounced off of the 20-day moving average and is now making new highs for the week. And we're seeing that it's starting this session on Friday very strong, up 6. This has been the leader all week, and we continue to see it lead. That's a positive for the market. That's a positive note for the U.S. economy in the short term. Crude markets are firming up. They're right now around 45.83. This $44, $45 level, I think, is going to be that new base. But we're going to watch rig counts going into next week. We're also going to watch the EIA report next Wednesday. Watch that. We had a build this week. That's what pounded crude down. You see that precipitous drop right here? That was basically because of the fact that we had a pickup in storage. There was an increase of 3.3 million barrels in storage. We did see that gold started its drop. Now, the gold bears are on their heels. They're testing that 20-day moving average. Let's see if gold is going to shift trend here. A break of this 1267 level and then a challenge to the 1257 level, 1256 level. That means that the gold bugs, they could be on their heels. One very notable metal that has been moving to the upside and is very important as far as growth, and especially infrastructure or materials growth, that's copper. Copper has just been taking off. The copper bulls are in the making, and they are really moving. So we'll watch that one very closely. All right, folks, that's it for what's hot on the open in the markets. We'll take a look at everything going on in the midday, and I'm going to give you a very cool strategy. Unfortunately, my brother Matt will not be with us, but we'll get him online soon. So we'll see you soon here at MarketStream.live.